Now, God uses to make us to come to an understanding and realize that when we put all of these things to work, that's when we put our hands, our mouth, our tongue, our ears, our eyes to work, that is what godliness is all about. That is more like the summary of the teachings that we've been having so far. Let's just think like this. Now, God uses all of these things to make us to come to understand that when we put all of these things to work, then it means that we are working and going in line with what He desires for us as His children. And we begin to see results pumping out for us. But to our greatest surprise, in the course of preparing this message, we came to understand that this particular member body that we want to talk about today is the epic making body. It is the mother of all the member bodies, and we have oftentimes neglected it. But by the infinite mercies of God, He has opened our mind of understanding to see and to realize that there is one of our member bodies, which is the brain, that is oftentimes not mentioned, but is actually the most critical and mother of every member body, and it is called the brain. Now, after leading us through the understanding and the functionality of this member body called the brain, which oftentimes we refer to be as the mind, because most of the time we refer to the brain as the mind. Now, God made us to understand that the mind is not an organ, neither is the mind a part in the body, and that what people mostly call the mind is actually the brain. What we actually do call as the mind is actually the brain. Now, as I earlier said, that the brain is the mother of the functionality of the body. So the mind uses the brain to work. But the mind has no place that you would say that it is actually located inside the body. The mind is to be likened to be the power of imagination. That's like the powerhouse of imagination. It has the power of will. So a person of good will or strong will, or a person that has the will of imagination, is a person that actually develops his brain and ventures into innovative thinking, creative thinking, reasoning, manufacturing. That's to tell us that the mind is a mental state which is in conjunction to imagination, which makes things happen. You know, when you imagine things, imaginations are like things that have not yet come to reality. When you imagine them, you are now able to bring them to reality when you get up and you put it to work. You put your imaginations to work. Now, in the preparation of this message, we searched through the scripture to look for where it actually talked on the brain. But we found none. And all we could say was that the mind and the heart was what was actually mentioned in the Bible. And that is why in one of our teachings, if you have been an ardent follower, you would know that in